So my first goal, as any aspiring adventurer knows, is to join a gang. So after asking the librarian, who apparently knows more than he should about possible gang activity, I'm off. How he couldn't find this tremendously obvious book is beyond me, but I digress. So after openly talking about gangs to a gang member, I've taken my first step into a life of disorganized crime. And that first step involves murder, so let's buy a weapon. It's not much, but it's all I can afford. After a quick test where I totally killed an imp in one shot so hard he exploded, it's back to the bar, to murder someone in broad daylight, like a true hero. So after a few minutes of stabbing and complaining about the local cuisine, I had won, and gotten my first prayer experience. I was greeted with cheers and applause for killing a man they couldn't possibly have handled themselves. I was in. My life of crime had just started, and my quest to find the Shield of Arov had ended, because honestly, I didn't care. Completing the quest would have been useful for the reward, but as an Ironman, I stand alone. The real reward is the friends I robbed along the way. I was hoping to steal a crossbow as well, but apparently I'm not allowed. Yet. The dagger was a nice upgrade, and now I have boots to put over my socks, I guess. So with my first goal achieved, it was time to start exploring the sewer, after being harassed by Romeo again. But first, time to blow up another imp. Upon entering the sewer, I noticed an abundance of rats. I'd forgotten they existed. It would make early game training a lot easier. There was also a spot to train range relatively easily. Plus these boneheads just hanging out over here, throwing up graffiti on the wall. I told you my standards were low. I had marked myself a path previously, so I knew which way was the right way to go. But it occurred to me, what was the wrong way? So I went for a walk, and found $1, and also the gates of hell. With so many low-level monsters, training combat would be easy. So that's what I did. Starting with the big rats so I could stockpile some food, hopefully. That is, until I realized it was a bad idea. I didn't know rats could regenerate. So after more complaining, I did what any hero would do in my situation. I picked on someone smaller than me. It meant no prayer experience for a little while, but honestly I was okay with that. The little ones could regenerate too. I also found this magic rat that kept coming back to life every time I killed it. He occasionally forgot to die. And this magic idiot who doesn't know what a spade looks like. So my first goal was base 10. 10 attack, 10 strength, and 10 defense. I had trained hard, but finally reached base 10. Now I could buy better weapons and armor, if I wasn't broke. Clearly the money was going to be an issue, even with me picking up $2 in the sewers. So I took a walk, cooked myself lunch, thought about how I was going to make enough money to buy stuff. At first I considered murdering the brothers from before, who seemed to have switched places. But with no reliable source of food, it'd take a long time. Of course, there was the leather armor, but I'd need to steal 400 of them to earn enough money. After blowing up another imp, it came to me. The iron dagger would be slow, but I'd only need 200 of them. I decided shortly after that I was happy with my armor and only wanted a new sword, so the goal was set. 960 coins, 21 at a time. So with more than a few daggers acquired, I set about selling them. And with my last dagger sold, I could finally buy a proper sword. Although for an extra 300 gold I could. With my brand new sword in hand, and the adoration of some stranger, I decided it was time to try my hand at rat slaying again. I wanted to see what was waiting for me further in, since it had been a while since my last sewer visit. A couple of zombies and scorpions were nothing interesting or useful, and an aggressive rat didn't help me much either. Though they were lower level than I had remembered, so I decided to keep their location in mind before heading back to the rat pit. I left briefly to blow up an imp, for good luck of course, and cook the few pieces of rat meat I had. Instead of fighting in the dank, dark sewers, I opted for training behind the bar, mostly because it was closer to a range. These rats regenerate too. Even though I had just gotten base 10, it wasn't nearly enough. So I set a new goal, base 20, and with the rat meat, I was hoping it wouldn't take as long.